Okay, folks, hello, and how are we doing this evening? We've got Brooklyn College Maroon playing Pace in the Northeast Challenger Finals. Also, sorry, one moment, I am just fixing some stuff for the stream. Okay, we are all set and ready to go. Thank you for bearing with me there for a moment. We have Phil on the Malphite, Whalp playing Graves, Sam on his Lissandra, Ming locking in the Neela, and Princeton playing Rakan tonight. You're also going to see Fisty playing Mordekaiser, which is a relatively new pick for him. It is something that just got buffed. We've got Lee Sin on the Nocturne here. Rakan, of course, for Princeton, as I mentioned. And then Ika on the Syndra, Fichance on the Vayne, and finally Rudy on the Nautilus. Fichance definitely very strong with this Vayne pick, something they play quite often. Yeah, so we get a little bit of trading early on here from the side of Ika into the Lissandra. And of course, Malphite trading with the Mordekaiser. All right, both members of Brooklyn College. Malphite not going to be able to walk up to his wave because of the mistake. And unfortunately, Vayne getting the first kill there. Ming makes a mistake. We don't even catch it in time because of the duels that are going off all across the map. All right, and that's not good start for the Brooklyn College bot lane, obviously. Fichance, someone who plays the Vayne very well. They're going to hit level 2 first, but the wave doesn't get hard shoved in, which does actually work out for Ming here. So Ming will collect most of his CS. And right now, we've got Ika shoved up. Flash for Flash comes out. Sam actually flashes a bit early, gets stunned. Yeah. So right now, the gold lead 1K in favor, mostly because of that solo death for Ming in the bot lane here. But the gold is going to be in favor of the side of Pace. However, it should be noted that honestly, more CS ending up for Ming. So not a terrible position despite that death. It doesn't get punished very heavily because they don't push the wave in there from the side of Pace. I think they may have been worried about a potential Graves gank. And also Phil, despite getting shoved out, is going to collect enough here to stay within 10 CS. So BC playing a more mid-game oriented comp. Whalp with the Graves, slightly behind on tempo right now from the Nocturne, who is up by that Scuttle. And it is clear that this is warded. Whalp is going to acknowledge it. They aren't going to see the back, though. We're going to take a look over here at the mid lane fight. Pretty even. So right now, both teams even. The gold differential has closed a bit just because Brooklyn College are doing a good job of farming. BC doing a decent job. Let me make sure. Yep, okay. And again, this is really a mid-game oriented comp here for Brooklyn College. They want to trust in Ming being able to get to his item spikes, where the Neela is going to be very hard to punish if you're an auto-attack based champion on the side of Pace, which Neela really is here. Or sorry, Vayne and Nocturne really are here. But yeah, so right now, looking good. Both teams pretty even. Kind of just playing their own game. You know, if you're Pace, you're definitely not trying to die to the Graves early. Making sure that Nocturne has time to get to 6 and start impacting the map with that paranoia. Okay, a gank coming through. It's going to be Ika getting locked up. Sam has no ultimate though. Or no ultimate and no flash, so the gank, it ends up failing here. Princeton probably should have just stayed on Ika and finished that kill. Or they should have called the jungle over. Not sure why they didn't. So, again, a bit of a mistake from the side of BC. However, able to move because the wave is frozen right now. So Neela getting a lot of that solo XP. This does look good for BC, despite the kill going over on the gank. This should be a dragon for Brooklyn College here. Nocturne is not 6. Oh, wait. Brooklyn College opted off. They don't know where Nocturne is. They actually have the advantage here and decide not to use it. A pretty big mistake there from BC. Yeah, even if Nocturne's there, he's not 6. Brooklyn College have the advantage in that skirmish, able to get over the wall. They really should have just forced that. You know, Neela is almost 2 levels up on Vayne here. So, gonna be a bit of a miscalculation from the side of Brooklyn College, not registering that they were stronger. All right, however, Nocturne does hit 6 off of this. He should be looking for this gank. And I think Brooklyn College should be able to trade one back. Yeah, they're gonna trade one back, but Princeton is going to go down. And it looks like the gold goes over to the Vayne. So yeah, BC, a little bit of over-aggression here. And honestly, not getting a lot of value out of this Graves pick right now. You typically want to be invading or doing something with it. You know, Hualp struggling to find the right angles at this moment. So it's going to be all pace right now.
Red team has slain the dragon.
All right, and his camp gets stolen by the Graves, unfortunately. But they actually should be able to kill the Mordekaiser here, or at least force him off to get Herald. And yeah, it does look like they're going to be able to take the Herald. So good decision here by BC. Play safe, get this Herald. Okay, first Herald going over to Brooklyn College. They're going to look mid here. Cracking mid here would be huge. They've got Sam's abilities on. Yep. Oh, and Malphite misses the R, but it's okay. This is actually a huge gain for BC. They get the kill. They do have to use 2 ultimates. Top lane is going to be a bit frozen here, and Malphite won't have the ult to escape. He really should take that, but doesn't. Take the health plant there. So yeah, Malphite should be able to get his cannon here. Shouldn't be too much from Fisty that he can do. Malphite gonna just give that cannon actually. Elects to play it safe. The bot lane here, looking good if you're Vayne, of course. 3 kills, but still a bit down on XP. Yeah, Ming does hit 6, or I'm sorry, does hit level 8 there. And yeah, Brooklyn College happy with how this match is going so far, but so is Pace. They've got about a 1.5k gold lead at 10 minutes. But we're getting to that point where the comp from BC does come online a bit. It is going to get harder to play. Every time that Malphite has R to pair with the Liss ult, it is going to be a bit of a problem. Also, Nocturne really cannot engage onto Neela and get something for free there. It's usually going to be a trade that goes out just because of the nature of her kit stuffing the auto attacks. All right, and the reset coming through for Lissandra. Phil having to ult away there. Fisty using his R, so does end up in favor. Oh, it does look like there's going to be a fight. Syndra gets first move here. And yeah, Whalp is caught out. The ult comes through. But again, we see Whalp over-aggressing this time. He does finally invade, but he does it when Nock has R and when Syndra has the ability to roam first. So that play goes pretty heavily in favor of Pace. They do look like they're going to look for the Liss, and Liss has no R. That's the Frozen Tomb going out. Walt picks it up. He makes up for that last play. Says, you know what? I know I may have made a mistake, but now it's your turn, Lissandra. And this is going to be Rift Herald crashing mid. Should be a solid gold gain here, and sets Brooklyn College up for this dragon that's about to come up. They should be able to contest. Okay, yeah. So they stop the Lissandra reset. It does actually look like BC are just going to give this dragon. Okay, so Pace doing a good job of stacking the dragons. They're in a pretty happy spot right now. Paranoia from Nocturne is available, but they're not going to look for mid here. All right, Mordekaiser taking the scuttle. Walt just trying to get the rest of his jungle. Meanwhile, we see some very light trading going on mid. The top lane discrepancy is in favor of Pace, of course. The Mordekaiser has a much easier time farming here than the Malphite does in this matchup. But that Malphite R is going to be impactful for the entire game into Pace. Going to be really hard for Ika and Fashance to play the game once it progresses a little bit more here. And that's another Frozen Tomb going out. And Brooklyn College take another kill in the mid lane. Okay, we're going to see the TB coming through from Mordekaiser. They do work to save that turret. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, despite Vayne having 3 kills, Ming is still farming strongly. Almost 17 CS lead, plus the 1 kill he has. Vayne is barely ahead here. And honestly, once Ming finishes that cull, they're going to be completely even in a vacuum. Okay, so we see Pace. They make the move for this second Herald, and Whalp can't get to it in time. They are going to elect to just give BC a little bit on the back foot for that play. So they give over second drag, they give over Herald. 2 pretty significant mistakes from Brooklyn College. But they're going to look to punish here in a little bit. Pace very sensibly moving. They knew that they had the ability to take that Herald after Fisty TP'd with Liss, or Syndra still stuck topside. And actually, Phil is going to try and make this play here. to finish off the Syndra, and he does. Okay, so he's going to trade 1 for 1. A lot used there on the side of Pace to save that play. But now that's going to be Brooklyn College taking the mid tower, cracking it open, and it will give them move priority on the Dragons for the rest of the game, which they're going to need because they already gave the first 2 over. Also, notably, Graves is going to have first move here. All right, Whalp. Gonna reset. Yeah, this is smart by Fachance and Rudy. They know something's up. They know that Graves is sitting there waiting. He did show that he was walking bot side after doing that that Rift Herald. And now BC bot lane have to be careful. And it looks like a bit of a swapped lane assignment. I like this call from Brooklyn College. They've got the Lissandra into the Mordekaiser. It's a lot harder for Mordekaiser to play this matchup than play into the Malphite. Malphite also, with that ult, has the ability always to kill Syndra in the 1v1. So, yeah. Okay, simultaneously, it doesn't look like that they can decide what they want to do here. And that's going to be a huge wave, actually, crashing into the tower. Syndra will collect most of this. But a lot of damage getting down on the turret that shouldn't have gone. So yeah, right now, if you are Pace, you've got a 1,000 gold lead, pushing it to 1.5k, but you have elected to swap the Syndra into the matchup top here, and this is really bad for her. She's gonna go down. Dragon is up. And actually, Phil not using his ult here is massive. The only ult that's gonna be down is the Lissandra ult, but Syndra ult traded for it, so Malphite's still going to have that ult. The unstoppable force here for the Dragon. Dragon up in 35 seconds. Liss is gonna stay and push. They're moving Mordekaiser, and it does look like Nocturne is trying to make a play here, and the shutdown goes over to Neela, which is huge. Nocturne does come in, but he's walking right into Graves. This could be really dangerous. And yeah, that's 2 shutdowns now going over to Brooklyn College. A big misplay from the side of Pace. They're also likely going to have to give this Dragon over, so it's all Brooklyn College here on this play. All right, double TP coming through. All right, there's another TP coming through for BC here. They are going to find one, and the unstoppable force misses actually, but Ika's still caught. Malphite can tank this as long as he wants. Brooklyn College should get the drag here. It is going to mean that Mordekaiser gets free time with his tower in the top lane, but BC happy to make that trade. They already got the first tower. They needed this dragon, and yeah, this should be BC taking this one. BC's gonna need help here. They're pinging it. Malphite is gonna walk down. Nocturne? No, Nocturne won't get here in time, but Nocturne gonna drop the Herald bot lane. Okay, BC, after a good bit, do get the dragon. Some resets gonna come through. I would hope to see Malphite reset top here, actually, or reset to bot lane here, actually, and make another play. This Vayne gonna shove up with this. And yeah, we do see it coming through. He's gonna try and stop the Herald from crashing. Okay, he can stop it from dying here. This is big. It means that the value is pretty much negligible on that Herald 2. Again, the weaker of the 2 Heralds because you don't get the plates with it. And yeah, BC have made a strong effort back into this game. They now have a gold lead for the first time. They picked up arguably the stronger of the 3 drags that have been dropped already with that Infernal Dragon, the plus damage and attack power. And right now, Walt does see Lee Sin on the Nocturne there and backs up. But BC looking good here. Couple of missteps in the early game, heavily recovered as the game progresses. And they've got a good comp to deal with what Pace have, but Pace still have a lot of inroads into this game. Their pick potential is huge. The Vayne is going to scale. And so BC have to be mindful of, you know, the gold discrepancy as we get into the late game. They want to keep it as close as possible. And Fisty, of course, trying to crash this wave so he can finish this turret off. Not going to be able to do it here, but... Okay. Yeah, we see some skirmish positioning here. Oh, and that's actually a huge missed hook there. Had he landed that hook, could have made something happen. Simultaneously, Ika gonna shove this in. Mordekaiser taking another tower. Again, I thought BC had the right idea swapping the Lissandra into this. They really, you know, Malphite did have to TP down, but then after that initial TP, BC should have re-swapped the lane assignments, and them not doing so is making this Mordekaiser a lot stronger here. You know, List not a notorious tower pusher, and the objective being topside, definitely something you want to see BC make that adjustment. But nonetheless, still in a good spot. Both teams dead even basically right now. And the next contest station should be over this next dragon. It is a, you know, they're looking at creating soul point for themselves for pace. And if you're BC, you're trying to pick up 2 Infernals in a row, punish the mid-game, you know, not weakness, but if you're pace, you're still trying to scale a bit. And Brooklyn College are really strong right now. They did get all those shutdowns onto the Graves, onto Ming, on the Neela. So, yeah, BC are strong. Okay, they are going to find one target. It's going to be, and wait, Vayne gets caught in this too. They're still fighting though, so actually a bit of a misplay from Brooklyn College because they're not onto this Vayne. But wait, they get on finally, and there's the unstoppable force. Brooklyn College now have the fight in their hands. Fisty is making a big play here though. A flash coming through. Okay, so Brooklyn College end up ahead in the play. It is a 3-for-2, very close fight. It looked like a bit of a misplay actually from BC initially because Rakan got onto the Vayne, but all of the follow-up damage went to finish the Nocturne and try and poke out the Syndra. However, the adjustment was made as soon as the Malphite got into that fight. Mordekaiser's still able to pick himself up. 2 kills, so not bad, but BC ending up a bit further ahead on the gold here. And now you've got 53 seconds until this drag comes up. Wave is crashing top. We're going to see, yeah, we're going to see a reset. And I do wonder if with the Vayne, that Pace might not try to force a Baron here. Okay, this tower dangerously low, 200 HP, gonna get down to 99, so living on a sliver of health. The next wave that crashes will give BC over that gold, so slight gold lead appearing for them now. All right, BC looking to find wherever the Vayne is so they can punish her. All right, the ult, however, from Mordekaiser goes out early, and it's on to the Lissandra. But they can't seem to finish off Liss or Mord. However, the Neela gets a huge play. The double knockup, she's still alive. Oh my gosh, Neela is a massive champion here. And they're actually going to get a pentakill for Ming on the Neela. Huge play. That champion demonstrating how hard it is to kill into the auto attack champs from the side of Pace. And Brooklyn College pick up their second Infernal Drag and a 3,000 gold lead for themselves. Ming has a 700 gold shutdown. Huge play for Brooklyn College, keep themselves with the lead in this game. They do want, of course, to to make sure they're snowballing. But that Vayne that started off 3-0 is now 3-3 and struggling. Mordekaiser, despite making, honestly, an amazing play there in the post-ult, and the follow-up from Nocturne onto the Lissandra, you know, even though those things went nearly perfectly, they all pile up for Ming, for Phil, to wombo them, and the follow-up from Rakan on the play after the death of Lissandra. It's just too much for them to bear. And of course, Graves still getting all of his damage off Whalp, showing that he is extremely proficient on this champion, despite a couple of missteps. All right, so Whalp gonna be walking up on Syndra here. Okay. Smart play by them. They are familiar with how Nocturne likes to play the game. They do elect to not get dove by Nock here. Okay, actually, as I say that, yeah. All right, we're gonna see the rotations coming out, and right now Vayne is mid. Okay, so they're looking to bring 4 to the top side here. Tower goes down. And yeah, a lot of spam pings coming out. Pace saying, hey, we are not stronger. We have a wave crashing top side. And Vayne wants to reset here, sitting on some gold, trying to get to that third item. Phil doing an excellent job despite a 60 CS deficit. He is basically XP even with the Mordekaiser, which is all he needs to really do here in this matchup. The Malphite intended to lose lane, but something that can become an absolute menace in the team fights, as we've seen. Fachance not having any opportunities to play, even when you got that lethal tempo proc, you got the angle. As soon as the Malphite showed up, Fachance died in the team fight. And yeah, so again, this is what we're looking at right now. Both teams scaling into their team fight phases. You know, the side of Pace are really built a little bit more for picks. Their team fight is strong, of course. They have the Mordekaiser, they have the Syndra, and Vayne can absolutely shred the side of BC. But extended fights go in BC's favor, especially if Ming doesn't get killed onto this, in this matchup. Okay, wait. We might see a team fight break out here. Oh, we do actually! Nocturne looks like he's caught! Vayne is caught! But, again, that Malphite ult comes through just like we talked about. And we see all of Brooklyn College swarm. We still have stuff coming through. Ming still alive here. Let's Phil tank it. Brooklyn College get a 4 kills for 0, and they're going to be able to just walk to the Baron and take it here. Next Dragon up in a minute 22. They've got the damage to take this. Graves, Neela together destroy the Dragon. It should go down pretty quickly. They have Rakan to make sure, and Zone simultaneously. Sam on the Syndra catching this bot wave. Brooklyn College look dominant here. Okay, BC should get a good reset. Okay. Whalp is going to take his camps. Not sure how much gold he's sitting on. And another turret going down too. BC looking at a 7,000 gold lead, fighting for the drag that will determine who gets soul point. All right, BC. Honestly, Pace should not fight this right now. If they fight this, they genuinely lose the game off it. What we should be watching is Brooklyn College taking a free soul point for themselves. I would like to see Mordekaiser shoving the side lane, doing some smart stuff, which it does look like he's doing. He's looking to see if he can get something. And yeah, BC take a free dragon, Really well played by Pace there. Honestly, even at this level where you've got Masters full like Masters tier teams, you will still see them fight into the enemy over a dragon that doesn't end the game when the enemy has Baron and basically single-handedly lose the game off that single play. So I will give props to Pace here for acknowledging this is not our moment. This is not when we want to take this fight. We're looking for some kind of pick, some kind of advantage before we pull the trigger, and right now we don't have one. But it is all BC right now. Okay, you might see an ult come through for the Mordekaiser. But the QSS on the side of Whalp, they don't acknowledge that he has that item before they press R. And that's a pretty big mistake. Right now, you've got Sam with TP. He should just TP here, and they force this fight, which he's gonna do. And they find Nocturne, just enough to pull him back. All right, Ming does get chunked down. The Nocturne ult comes through, and he gets spotted, but he's got Zhonya's. They're covering for him, trying to make sure he can't die, and he does go down 1,000 gold, going over to Vayne. Huge misplay by BC, but they're still ending up okay in the play. Relatively even right now. All right, 2 for 2. However, this should be Fisty finishing off this kill. Yeah. All right, a really big misplay from Ming. Ming steps up and gets hit with everything. And because of that, they lose a fight. Pace extending the game for themselves there. Brooklyn College not able to end. And yeah, this Mordekaiser is a bit of a problem. Despite getting the ult knocked away, you know, Ming gets hit by the 2 and 8-less Syndra, who is very weak, but when you walk up under tower and you greed to finish it, you know, that will end up biting you, and they lose the play off of it. All the shutdowns going over from BC to Pace, so the gold getting evened up a little bit, but Brooklyn College still have a pretty substantial lead. So not over yet, doesn't swing the gold into the favor of Pace yet, but the longer they can extend this game, the better they'll feel. You know, they've got the level 18 on the Mordekaiser. They're trying to get Syndra and Vayne up there. But yeah, just again, really big misplay from Ming on the Neela, not respecting that he cannot finish that turret without his team tanking it for him. However, Ming does now have the Guardian Angel. So, going to be quite strong here. This next team fight, really, there shouldn't be another team fight for about 2 minutes, but both these teams seem pretty inclined to fight over a scuttle right now. And honestly, if you're BC, you should probably just pull the trigger here. They see Syndra top. I don't know why they're not fighting, actually. Maybe Ming is on an item buy? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, I actually don't know why they don't fight there. Another bit of a mistiming. You know, these are two high-level teams. They're playing very respectfully because this is finals. We've seen both teams not pull the trigger on a few plays when they have a pretty much guaranteed advantage vision-wise. But yeah, we're gonna see how this next fight goes out. Okay, BC, they need to deal with this bot wave. Phil maybe not registering quickly enough that that's what's got to happen. However, if you're Pace right now, you should be pulling the trigger on this Neela. Okay, they don't. Now Sam has TP soon. 15 seconds. Okay. And yeah, everyone pinging the TP from Sam here, trying to give him time, play sensible League of Legends. Pace do respect that their opponents are strong and that they could lose that team fight. But honestly, a huge XP lead for the side of Sam. And they're looking like they want to trade right now, actually. Wait, there's calls going over. Liss is over here on the wall. And the follow-up's not there yet, so Sam is going to go down. Huge misplay from Brooklyn College. They go too deep for a target they can't finish. And right now, Fisty doing a great job of killing. So it's 2 for 2. I'm sorry, it's a 3 for 1 in favor of the side of Pace, and they're gonna pick up this third drag. Again, we see another misplay from Brooklyn College. They don't respect that they don't have the ability there to get in. I didn't see if it was a mistiming from Ming on the QSS there. It does look like a QSS, but he was stuck by Mord. Couldn't get into that fight. And Whalp and Sam trying to follow through with Princeton onto the Vayne, but they just don't have it. All right, now we're gonna get a pretty even fight. Whoever wins this Baron should win the game here. BC still have a 4K gold lead, but as we've seen, the last two team fights have gone pretty heavily in favor of Pace because they're playing it a bit cleaner. Brooklyn College not calming very well what they need to be doing. But BC still have the advantage. Ming is massive, did not lose the GA there. However, Fachance did lose the broken stopwatch. So I would argue this is in favor of BC because last time the only thing that really did save that fight was the broken stopwatch from the side of Pace. So if I'm BC right now, I'm forcing this. I am forcing this hard. I want to take this Baron. And we'll see how it all plays out. BC do start the Baron. Okay, and they back off. Yeah, they don't have enough side pressure here. Like, they've got this wave crashing, but they really should just be forcing this. They're the stronger team right now. They're playing very scared, very afraid to throw. But BC do so much damage to this Baron. They should just get it here. All right, BC get Baron. Vayne is getting a lot of damage off in the side. Sam comes in. BC winning the fight currently, but it's gonna be close. All right, they take out the Nocturne. Sam is still alive, and the Waldo comes through. Brooklyn College kill everybody from Pace, and they are going to be able to close out this game with the lead they built. Huge plays from BC here. Whalp with the Graves, and Ming on the Neela was dominant. And despite Pace having some close comeback plays, Brooklyn College pick up game 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game 2 in our best of 5 for NECC Challengers Northeast Finals.
Don't blame you. I'm quite strong.
The ball is angry.
Who questions my ability?
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Life is too short for fear.
You can't cage me for long.
Okay, folks, we are back once again with Game 2 of the Best of 5 series between Brooklyn College Maroon and Pace University League of Legends. We are here right after that very decisive Game 1 from BC. Some strong comeback plays from the side of Pace. They did secure an early lead, but they just were not able to pull anything out in this one. And yeah, it does look like Fiora's gonna spot the invade here. And gonna back up. So, kind of a stuffed invade from Pace. Good 5-point by Brooklyn College. And this time, they are doing the right thing. They are going to walk up. They get a ward down in the Pixel Brush. And unfortunately, Jarvan had the sweeper. Or I'm sorry. Nautilus had the sweeper there, and the kill on that going over. So a little bit of XP for the Syndra and the Aatrox. But this is going to be warded now. So they will know where Jarvan is starting here. Brooklyn College should be able to make smart decisions. We are, again, seeing some different comps now from BC. The core of their comp from last game is still Whalp on the Graves, Sam on the Lissandra, and Princeton on his favorite champion, the Rakan. You know, from base, we're actually seeing almost a completely different lineup other than the Syndra, of course, and Nautilus for Ika and Rudy. This time, Fisty getting to play his Aatrox, which is quite often banned, into Phil's strongest champ in solo queue, however, being the Fiora. So this should be an exciting matchup in the top lane. Simultaneously, we've got in the bot lane Chance on the Xayah this game, which was banned, and Ming on Syndra here, which is a bit of a different pick than what we saw last time with that really aggressive, you know, Nyla. It's a bit more of a safe champ here. However, into Jarvan with Nyla banned, you know, they felt that this was what was going to be strongest. So Ming going to take it here and see if he gets an opportunity to scale to where this Syndra will be absolutely monstrous. Okay. Some trading going off in the top lane. Phil right now with a slight advantage. This is a Fiora favored matchup, but you know, it really can go either way here with the caliber of players amongst these two. Phil being a high Masters player, Fisty a Grandmasters player. And it looks like J4 is looking for Syndra here. Sam does look like he's caught. Okay, yeah, and he's gonna have to flash. And unfortunately, even with the flash, the kill not going to come through. They do spot out, the kill does go through for the side of, for the side of Pace. Good first kill for them. It's on to the Syndra. They want her to be strong this time. Last time, she was basically the punching bag for Brooklyn College to punish early. And this time, they are looking to get her a bit of a lead early and see what they can do. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be them diving off the bat, punishing the aggression here of, or the over-aggression of Ming and Rakan. Obviously, some trades that didn't go in their favor. So Jarvan is going to be able to pick himself up a bit of a lead. Simultaneously, Graves will punish, does invade, get some trade back gold. And yeah, right now, both teams pretty content with where things are at. Of course, Pace happier. They've got that early game lead that they were able to secure last game as well. But BC, once again, playing a mid-game oriented comp. They're just trying to stay as even as possible here. All right, and Phil letting this wave stack so that Fisty has to walk up to him. It is smart, and he does also have Graves here. However, the flash comes through, and Graves cannot 1v1 Fisty in this situation. So over-aggression from Phil gets punished really heavily. Fisty flashing out there, but not going to be anything lost here for Phil, really. Again, just you don't want to give gold over to Fisty on this Aatrox early, and walking up into the wave like that, very disrespectful from Phil. I'm sure he's beating himself up over that mistake. And yeah, and so that's going to be a good first dragon going over to the side of Pace. But again, BC just trying to keep the gold spread relatively even. Jarvan does kind of run the map in this early game. Sivir also struggles a little bit into the side of Pace early. Or sorry, yeah. Sivir needs time to scale, is what we're trying to get at here. So 1.5k gold lead at 6 minutes. Basically identical situation that we saw in the last game. Pace are playing the laning phase very well. Brooklyn College making a couple of mistakes that cost them a lot. And right now, we should see this wave getting shoved in. Nothing really for Graves to do here. Doesn't have enough prio to move to this scuttle. And Fachance actually going to get a deep ward. So right now, Graves' jungle is not his own. It is, everything is warded here. No vision has been cleared for the side of BC, but they're gonna look to play for this first Herald that comes up in just a minute and about a minute and a half here. So right now, given the gold discrepancy, what I would like to see from them is to actually rotate Syndra, or oh, actually, no, it's not going to work here because Sam had to use that TP to get back to mid lane. So as a result, actually, they cannot rotate the bot lane to Herald. They can only rotate the Rakan. Okay, ult for ult in the mid lane. Ika feeling a lot more confident now that they've got a bit of a gold lead. And that bot lane is going much better this time around for their for the side of Fachance and Rudy. Okay. And right here, we should see both junglers pathing top. We should also see Rakan pathing top. This is going to be a very, very even fight. BC want to get Aatrox killed here. And actually, yeah, they don't have Rakan, or they don't have the Graves there yet. So this is a smart rotation here, though, because Sivir's actually here. So this is a 4v4 for BC, but they got to get the Graves onto this. He does realize he's got to get off his red buff and get in here. And this is going to be BC contesting this. Yep, contesting it. And that's flash for flash. Brooklyn College pick up the Herald, though. So good play from them. And now they might be able to catch out Syndra here. Okay, they don't, but this was a really smart rotation from them. You know, you normally got to be a little bit more careful with it when you have your mid laner with no teleport. But Brooklyn College play it very intelligently. This is something that other teams have worked against them to great success, that they have been practicing. And yeah, it's just a really common macro move now at the higher levels of play. That being said, this is going to give Fisty a pretty strong opportunity to trade with the Fiora here. But Phil playing it well, doing his best to get his farm. All right, and they're just trying to keep Graves here while this dragon spawns. And yeah, Graves is going to have to flash out. So a bit of a mistake there from Hwalp. Thought that maybe that him and Phil could take out the Aatrox, but Phil with no flash, no sums, nothing, is going to just have to play very conservatively here. However, Fiora will scale into this matchup very well. But the first move onto the Dragon is going to be from Pace. They should have a pretty uncontestable second drag here, just like we saw in the last game. This is a moment where their comp is a bit better. Okay, and actually, Brooklyn College have move here. They have the advantage. Syndra, yeah, this is actually going to be huge for BC because Jarvan has to get off of the drag. He might look for a steal here. And yeah, Sam's going to sacrifice his life. Brooklyn College get the dragon. It is all members here down into this lane. And yeah, BC are actually fine with this. You know, they're gonna force out. Yeah, it ends up being, okay, so Brooklyn College could have just given over 1 kill. They do end up giving over 2. So not optimal, but they get the dragon. They're fine with this. Their team fight is going to scale. They want that Fiora to be able to scale for the side lane because once she does, Aatrox is not going to easily be able to fight her. And yeah, we actually see them trying to set up a play onto Fiora here. So yeah, Fiora now realizes she's getting punched. And this is huge, because that's going to be Fisty going over. BC should take an entire tower here in return. I would think that Graves goes top, but he's actually just going to go mid. Yeah, so BC should take this tower, but they had the wave top lane. I would have, if I'm Graves here, I'm going top, but Walt thinks it's better to just get this down, take the mid pressure. However, that bot turret should basically go down, but if you're Phil, you're totally fine with that. Getting the kill in the Aatrox in a 1v3 under tower, perfectly acceptable position. Sivir also still getting something top lane. However, Jarvan goes in for his red buff and unfortunately doesn't respect that Rakan is there. So now that's going to be Walt picking up a 20 CS lead and a kill. And now Rudy looks like he's stuck here. Okay, and yeah, so ult for ult goes out, but importantly, the Graves here getting everything he wants. Sivir also getting a lot of free gold up in the top lane. After all is said and done, pretty even gold trades. The gold doesn't change hands too much. Phil getting one more plate there. It's an even 2k gold advantage for the side of Pace right now. Almost all of it on the Syndra, with a little bit of gold advantage for the... sorry, let me close that. I forgot to do that. With a little bit of a gold advantage on the Xayah as well, but nothing too crazy. The Sivir has had some time to farm now and catch back up a little bit. But again, BC have a scaling comp here. The fact that they're keeping this close right now is the reason that they will be able to contest all the objectives in this game on those timers. And if Pace aren't able to start snowballing, getting some gold onto the Jarvan, getting more gold onto the Syndra, then they're going to run into a lot of trouble very soon. Okay, second Herald. It does look like it may be contested. Sam doesn't have TP. Ika does in just 8 seconds and is going to be able to threaten this tower here in bot lane to try and finish it off. We'll see. Yeah, Sam 10 seconds still on his TP. Okay, Herald is going to be contested. This time, though, they're looking for the shutdown gold, actually. Brooklyn College are going to make a cross-map play and get 300 gold here off the Syndra. That's the plan, at least. And I think it's a good one. Brooklyn College recognize, hey, you know what? We can't contest this second Herald, but we can get this shutdown gold over to our Sivir and simultaneously be ready to go for this Dragon. They're also going to pick up a tower, likely a tower trade, because I do believe that once that, second Herald gets used, it will be a tower going over. But this is actually first tower going over to BC, once again showing some really intelligent macro decisions. Definitely have been listening to their coach, which he loves to see. And we're now seeing Brooklyn College even up this 2K gold discrepancy with the opportunity here to contest this Dragon. At worst, they should be able to make sure this Herald goes down. Not too much will be gained from it. And have an opportunity to make something happen here. But this wave is all the way shoved in for the Syndra. She's going to be able to make light work of it. But everything should be in a fine position here for BC to still contest. The Herald getting used early. And wait, Jarvan actually gets knocked up. He's stunned. He's rooted. That's going to be a dead J4 here. He uses the ult, but BC, Jarvan this time over-aggressing for a tower like we saw Ming do and lose a very crucial play. But Phil is actually on to this Syndra. Okay, they can't kill the Syndra, but they can kill the Nautilus. And Lissandra gonna be TP top 2 here. So this is actually just a complete winning play for BC off of Lee Sin on the J4, making mistakes, and Brooklyn College are looking good here in game 2. Yeah, so Brooklyn College making some very strong adjustments after the Brooklyn College Invitational this weekend, where they lost a close series with CCNY 1-2. Taking a lot away from that series, it looks like, being a bit more flexible and making some very intelligent macro decisions around these Heralds, around these second and third Dragons. And right now, Pace just seem a little bit on the back foot, despite having a composition they like. We're seeing Fisty build up a gold lead, and it's starting to tilt back in favor of Phil. The gold lead that was over for Ika has been diminished, and despite the CS lead for Xayah and Fachansi, who's playing the Xayah very well, BC are starting to run away with it a little bit. And this comp is only going to get more dangerous as they scale into the late game. So right now, if you're Pace, you gotta be looking for picks. They keep trying to team fight with this composition that excels at pick-oriented situations, and they're taking 3v4s and over-aggressing for stuff before an objective timer comes up, and they're getting punished heavily for it. I'd like to see them get some deep vision in the brush a full minute before an objective and try to punish some of the timers here. And we actually see Sam looks like he's caught. He's got his teammates with him. He's gonna flash, but he is caught. A bit of over-aggression. However, BC can still trade a little bit. They might get Rudy. Okay, they don't. Oh, they do! So it's actually a 1-for-1. Despite everything being used, BC play it perfectly. Fiora gets the top tower, and it is a 1-for-1. Sam does lose a lot in that trade. He's gonna lose that stopwatch. But, really, really good by BC to not lose too much in that. And Phil doesn't think, he thinks he's in the bush. Okay, maybe not. Maybe he was just baiting. But I think he thought he was in the bush there. And wait! We have Xayah walking in right now! Oh! Graves doesn't respect how much damage is still left to come out. Xayah pops the flash, and Syndra pops the ult. So we do see Whalp make a bit of a mistake. That is a shutdown going over as well, which is massive. But now, notably, it will be Xayah with no flash for this next dragon fight. So that also may be something that BC are willing to trade over, even though we know they did not want to give that shutdown. And especially the shutdown going to the Xayah. Okay. The action settles down a little bit. Both teams should be looking to prepare their waves, get some vision going into this third dragon. It will be a Dragon Soul point for Brooklyn College. Simultaneously, you want to get that second dragon if you are on the side of pace. Keep BC from getting another opportunity to extend this game to where their comp is going to be dangerous. Gold is dead even now after that misplay. Both sides having slight leads at either time and giving them back. These two teams are very evenly matched. BC, of course, getting the win in the regular season to end up here with an undefeated NECC Challengers Northeast record. Simultaneously, Pace did get some revenge at the NECC Samsung qualifier, where they won 2-1 in an extremely close series. So BC hoping to take it all and win the one that matters most. Simultaneously, Pace trying to replicate their success at the Open, beating the #1 seed here in the finals. So, you know, both teams got a lot on the line. And of course, when you've got a best-of-5 finals match between two teams that are playing as well as these two have been for the entire season, it's going to be exciting. Okay, BC have walked up. They're taking space here. Okay, simultaneously, Sivir is getting this wave shoved mid, and they do have to respond. They don't want to just let that turret go down for nothing. Now, Brooklyn College here can give this dragon if for some reason it starts to go poorly and shove it mid and end up with an advantage. They do have Fiora able to TP, but it is going to be Whalp starting the dragon. And it's on vision, so, yep, we have a TP coming through. Fiora notably hasn't TP'd yet. Sam has gone in. That's Fiora with the TP though, and that's gonna be the dragon going over. And it's also Phil getting the kill. Brooklyn College still have the Sivir up here. Fisty trying to make a play, but it looks like BC are going to get the clean ace. And that's a clean ace for Brooklyn College. They get the dragon, they get all the kills, they lose nobody with a beautiful team fight, and they're going to take Baron, they're going to take the mid tower, and this should be a huge gold lead going over to them now. And a super exciting fight, so much action there. Phil, despite being a little bit late on the TP, his team plays it perfectly. Sam engages into the backline, uses the Frozen Tomb, uses the Zhonyas, and stays alive for so long that even though Jarvan gets onto the backline, there's just nothing he can do. Ming spacing perfectly, gets his damage off, continues to use that W, to use that Q. The shurikens coming out, the ricochet, the boomerang blade, everything. I said shurikens. It's not shurikens. I'm sorry. It's the boomerang blade and the ricochet. But nonetheless, all of the damage coming out, and then Phil able to follow up onto Sam's play. Sam somehow stays alive and doesn't even need to use his flash. So really well played by Brooklyn College to end up with everything they wanted on that fight, and now they have a clean 6,000 gold lead building here. All right, Fiora not going to contest the Jarvan with Syndra right over the wall there. Oh, and we are going to get a pause. It does look like Rudy has DC'd. I'm going to take a moment to drink a little water. But yeah, this has been a very exciting game so far. Both teams back and forth in the early game, but we see Brooklyn College team fight extraordinarily clean. And Pace just not able to overcome the engage, counter engage, and disengage from Brooklyn College. All three being utilized perfectly there with the Lissandra, with the Sivir, with Phil coming in on that TP in the pit. Also, sorry folks, this brief moment here, it does happen after a pause is initiated. Riot client does not work the best, so please bear with us for just a moment while it catches back up after the pause has gone through. All right, there we go. And now we see Walt. He's damaging Rudy. Rudy didn't look like Rudy was looking somewhere else. And now Aatrox may be caught here. It does look like he's going to acknowledge that he's a bit out of position. Simultaneously, Fiora tries to E forward, or Q forward. Oh, wow. And a lot of damage coming out from the Syndra. Syndra's still very strong. So this will be Phil resetting, likely. Oh, nope. Just going to take this, get some damage off, and we may have a fight breaking out here in the bot lane. It is a 4v4, but Ika has TP, notably. Okay, that is the engage coming through. Ming steps out once, and it's looking like he's going to go down, but he actually lives, even with the flash coming through from Aatrox. Ming is going to keep running. He can't be caught. The ultimate comes out. And Xayah does clear up the Lissandra with her teammates. But BC, honestly, in what should have been a horrible fight for them, with Ming getting caught there, it does end up being a very positive fight where they still pick up another kill. They're going to get a lot traded here, and Brooklyn College have a lead, 3 dragons to 1. Not able to close anything out with the Baron, unfortunately, but that last, the Dragon Soul, it is Ocean Soul, coming up in just 1 minute and 28 seconds. Okay, Dragon is up in 55 seconds. This time, Phil does have the TP here. And actually, he's going to be hunting for this Aatrox, who notably has to pop the ult early. And yeah, that should be actually Fisty going down. Solo kill for Phil right before the objective comes up. 45-second death timer for the Aatrox, and Phil has the TP, so he won't have ult here. But now this objective has gone from a must-contest objective to something that really all they can hope to do is steal. Yeah, they have to do everything they can just to keep Phil from ending this game on the Fiora. And he is taking less damage now. He has gotten himself that hull breaker. And BC are more than happy to be in the position that they're in currently. Oh wait, this might be the end of the game here if Lee Sin walks up to try and steal this. Liss is going to be TPing. And that should be Rudy getting caught. Unfortunately, the Nautilus doesn't have an exit here. That's going to be him going down. Meanwhile, Syndra dies to the Fiora in the 1v1. And even with the help, yeah. Oh my gosh, if a chance tries to save the game, but this should just be BC ending it here. Rakan, meanwhile, getting caught. Lee Sin goes forward and runs right into a Lissandra. That's gonna be him dying too, I believe. Okay, he gets over the wall actually. But BC will just end it here with the Graves and the Fiora. Brooklyn College now go up 2-0 and have series point up next. If you're Pace, you gotta bring it back and win 3 in a row and make a reverse sweep happen. So we will be right back in just a few moments with Game 3 of Brooklyn College versus Pace. Alrighty, folks, welcome back to potentially the final game in the series. Brooklyn College are up 2-0. It is finals. It is a best of 5. This means that Pace need to start their reverse sweep right now. Failing to do so will result in BC winning the NECC Challengers Northeast Championship. Brooklyn College, of course, looking to close it out. Right now, we've got Fisty on the Aatrox into the matchup with Phil's Fiora again. Phil getting the better of that one after a slight early mistake. Hwalp will get spotted out here. This time he is on the Wukong into Lee Sin's Jarvan. In the mid lane, this time it will be Sam on the Syndra, taking it away from Ika, who opted in to the Ahri matchup. And then in the bot lane, Xayah forfeit chance, and this time Ming getting that nasty, nasty Nyla back. Princeton on the Rakan, and for the first time tonight, we're going to see Rudy onto Lulu. So yeah, Brooklyn College get a comp they are very excited to play. Of course, Sam getting several bans thrown at him and having, of course, to ban the Orianna himself, or Brooklyn College having to ban the Orianna themselves. Does mean he gets put further down on the champ pool. The Syndra is something he plays, and taking it away from Ika, who also had a lot of bans. Both teams throwing a lot of mid bans at each other. The rest of their teammates able to play, just a few more champs that put them in terms of what they want to play compositionally. But all of these players, of course, do have very respectful champion pools in terms of how many champs they can operate. And yeah, we are looking at it here. BC, the bot lane, getting a little bit worse in the trade. Lulu and Xayah are able to play this a bit more aggressively than the Rakan and the Neela. But, shouldn't be too much of an issue here for BC. This Neela will become a monster once again, as we saw this champ doing very well into AD champs and especially into auto attack champs, of which you've got a couple on the side here for Pace. So this champion will be looking to see how she scales and what kind of problems she causes for the side of Pace. Meanwhile, Pace do still have a pretty comfortable composition. This Aatrox for Fisty, something he plays consistently at the Grandmaster level. But Phil, of course, on his main champ as well, the Fiora. However, first blood, we miss it in the bot lane. The level 3 coming through for Ming and Princeton first, and unfortunately, we just can't switch to it in time. All right, Jarvan looking for some kind of return gank. All right, the ward comes through. An attempted freeze here for Pace, but unfortunately, Jarvan is going to just have to move here. He's going to get spotted on the ward. Hwalp, level 4, and Jarvan's low, so this is not contestable. He's going to have to elect to just go through mid. Sam taking an aggressive trade here. Has to be careful. The charm doesn't land, but Wukong not far behind. Jarvan may look to EQ flash. Oh, and he flashes late! Huge misplay from Lee Sin on the Jarvan, and it's actually going to cost them a lot because Syndra doesn't have to use anything other than E to survive that, gets the wave pushed in, and is going to get a perfect reset timer here. Jarvan simultaneously gonna lose his Krugs. Phil ahead in the top lane, did have to TP. Fisty doesn't look like he's reset yet. Level 5 now for Phil. Doing a good job of spacing into this matchup and trying to get the wave in a favorable spot. Wukong is walking top. Jarvan is walking top. We could see a skirmish, but this is actually the first game where we see BC with a gold lead in the first moments of it. Oh, and the flash comes out, but it's actually too late. Phil doesn't flash in time, and that's going to be a huge play for the side of Pace because they're going to get this wave crashed. Phil doesn't have TP. He's going to lose a lot here. Over aggression from Phil, not respecting that J4 was topside as well as Wukong. And Fisty is going to have the level 6 advantage. That being said, BC are still in a good spot here. They are farming a bit better. Sam not going to get that. Oh, he gets charmed here. This could be good for Ika. But yeah, first blood goes over to Jarvan. A bit suboptimal in terms of what they really want to get that gold onto the Aatrox in that play. But Aatrox just happy to be alive after what had happened. Ika is going to pop the ultimate here. Sam will have his. Should be able to reset and trade for this dragon. TP coming through. BC should have an uncontested dragon right now. Jarvan may look to try and steal. Does have a timer here to do it, but he's gonna decide not to. They don't want to just give it up. And red team gets the dragon. The bot lane from Brooklyn College looking very strong once again on the Neela with the Rakan as the follow-up. You know, two champs that aren't considered to be, you know, necessarily that strong together, but with how the meta has gone and shifted lately, they are very powerful together in comp. Pretty solid win rates when paired together. And Aatrox, despite trying to freeze this, is going to end up slow pushing this wave over to Phil. Phil trying to get to that 2-item mark where he will have a substantial team fight advantage against the side of this Aatrox here. Aatrox doing his best to try and stack up the wave for the Herald. And BC actually don't move everything to the Herald this time, so it does look like they're going to be in a bit of a different position. They might be looking to catch Ika out here. Oh, but actually, Polymorph comes through. Ming is going to go for a 1v2 situation here. And a misplaced auto. Ming is going to give that kill over in the 1v2. That should mean, however, that BC get the Herald. And yeah, that's Ika going right down. This does mean that BC get the Herald. So a mistake by Ming on the other side of the map. Didn't respect that Lulu was there with the Xayah. Thought that they had pulled it up for the Herald. But actually, Pacer just giving it here. And yeah, Brooklyn College end up maintaining that gold lead. Ming, of course, probably not happy with that play, but will still have a pretty substantial advantage as this game continues, just inherent with these matchups that are on the side of Pace. So as long as Ming can stay relatively gold even, it should be all right. Ming walking up for a little bit of vision. Let's check back in with the top lane. We see a 10 CS advantage for Fisty right now, but the wave is pushing. This is a very small advantage. Fisty trying to make it extend as long as he can, because once Fiora gets these items, it's just a very hard matchup to play. She's got the dashes, she's got the W to avoid any of the damage that Aatrox wants to put out. Just a very difficult matchup for the side of the Aatrox. And something also that, again, while both of these players do main these champions in solo queue, maining the Fiora side of the matchup is definitely a little bit stronger. And even though the ult comes out, Lee Sin cannot contain Ming! Okay, however, Princeton going to try and get out. He does. BC end up down in the play, but in a 2v3 scenario, BC do come away with something, and that's actually the Jarvan stun. He's going to go down, but Walt makes a huge error. However, they get everything. Even though Walt makes the error, the double kill going over to the Rakan. Walt flashed after the Jarvan and ended up using that staff, the crushing blow onto the tower instead of onto either the Xayah or the Jarvan, and just manages to get the ult out there. And so this is going to be a lot of plate gold going over to Walt. But yeah, BC, a bit of an error there. However, the targets have absolutely nothing to get away. Lee Sin and Fashance using everything there just to try and kill the Neela, who, as we see, even in a 2v3 situation, cannot be contained by the Jarvan and does do very well. All right, we've got Phil in a 1v2, and Fisty has to flash out. The Syndra moves up. If that had hit Fisty, he would have died 100%. And so Brooklyn College are getting all of the trades they want on the map. They're going to have the mid-prio. They've got a full health Syndra. It does look like you're going to get TPs coming out from the side of Pace to try and stop what's going on here mid. But right now, Brooklyn College have the upper hand. All right. Ika dodging everything there. Plays it very aggressively. Okay, BC don't have first move on this dragon. Okay, that's Q out. Wukong is here. Fiora doesn't have TP, but Phil sure does, but Fisty sure does. So, Brooklyn College gonna pull this out. They've got the mid prio. They've got bot prio. Ming wants to move to this. We might see some contesting here from the side, but actually that's just Rakan going in, and Xayah on the backside. Brooklyn College are looking to clean this fight up quick, and it is going to be both targets going down and the dragon. BC get everything they want. The Neela here, a pick that is just uncontested right now from Pace. And simultaneously, we've got more gold going over. Syndra here gonna pick up a plate. And this also should be Phil in a favorable position right now into the Aatrox. Gets the wave pushed in. Oh, but Ming might go down. Ari gets the shutdown. Huge play from her in a 1v2, utilizing the ult, landing everything she needs to land. So that shutdown gold given back over by Ming is going to be favorable here for the Ari, but the Ari down 4 assists and a death to the Syndra in mid lane, who also has about a 20 CS lead. All right, Herald 2 has come here, and even though, oh, this might be Walt caught actually. Yeah, they cannot catch him here. He does have W to get out. Fiora gonna reset that Herald timer coming up in just 30 seconds. If BC get this, it is going to be a near impossible situation for the side of Pace. They do want to contest this second Herald. They're gonna lose up potentially 2 towers to it, given how low some of these are. You know, if a fight goes poorly and BC manage to pick this up, you're looking at an extremely dangerous situation that will be hard to claw your way back out of. So it makes sense that Pace are trying to prep for this. They switch the mid laner, but Ika notably doesn't have TP here. So if Syndra decides to move, there's not going to be any contestation. Ari will not have the damage to finish this turn in time, and BC are pulling the trigger. The Wukong is up on this, and we get the flash over from Ming on the Neela. It was unnecessary though. And we do get the TP. Syndra had started to move away. Opts to move back. Ult coming out from Ahri. Brooklyn College are going to get this Herald. And right now, it doesn't look like Pace know how to respond. They're trying to make the plays, but the gold going over early. The comp a bit in favor of BC in these team fights. And unfortunately, for Pace, it's just looking like Brooklyn College are starting to run away with this one. Oh, and we see Brooklyn College go for the dive. We have the TP come through. Fiora lives on a sliver of HP. And it does look like Wukong is going to give his life to get the Fiora out. Meanwhile, again, we mentioned it, the potential of 2 turrets going down. It does happen. BC give 1 kill for 1, and they get 2 towers. Brooklyn College happy with the Lord of the Rings play there. All right, you sacrifice a member, okay, and you pick up 2 towers worth of gold. And now we've got third dragon. This is a soul point with an ocean soul on the table for BC. Not necessarily a great soul to have here for either team, but of course, you don't want BC getting any more of an advantage than they already have. So right now, you're trying to figure out how you can contest this. Ika is top lane and is going to get caught here. But we see the reset coming in. Fiora gonna spot Fisty on the Aatrox. BC have the mid pressure. They've got the vision. And they've got the first move here. It does look like BC are in a solid position to take this. Pace are gonna want to contest, but they're at almost a 5,000 gold deficit right now. It is a very dire situation for them. They're trying to make some kind of play. Rakan goes in. We're gonna see Lee Sin caught on his own play. Sam finishing that kill, and Wukong gets to follow up onto Rudy. The stun doesn't land from Syndra. Scatter the weak, but it doesn't matter. Wukong has enough damage. The Rakan following through just enough to pull Ika off, and that's gonna be BC picking up soul point here. They are in position to close this game out with just a little bit more time for them to get toward the Baron. Pace need to start finding some plays or they're going home. Wukong picking up the dragon. Fiora gonna reset here. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, that was actually scary. If he had hit that, Fiora has no flash there. Would have been a kill, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, not going to come to fruition here. BC on top right now. 5.3 thousand gold lead. Ming taking his jungler's camps because he says, hey Wukong, I know you're doing great, but I'm the carry this game. Okay, Syndra's got move onto Ika, but Ika lands it. Huge play from Ika. He's got to finish it off here. Okay, gonna drop the ult. And Syndra says, it's all right. I'll take that play. Ika is going to have to reset here. Syndra gonna have first move for this early Baron. They're looking for Lee Sin. He gets out, not gonna find him. Meanwhile, Phil running down his opponent in the top lane. Triforce and Tiamat finished for Phil We've seen that the Duskblade and Caulfield's not stacking up here for the Aatrox. Again, a lot of this stuff only getting use when you're landing those multiple Qs on the Q1, Q2, and especially that Q3. But right now, Fiora forces the flash out of Fisty. Brooklyn College. Okay, they're gonna pull back here. They recognize we might be going a bit deep, but right, a huge advantage built up for Phil in this matchup. Simultaneously, they do elect to go back. They're trying to keep this uncontestable for the side of Pace. It looks like Fachant's gonna drop a pink ward here. BC still don't have this mid tower. If they had this mid tower, they could just take this 20-minute Baron, but with how the plays have gone down, it's been much easier to play through the side lanes and then take the big objectives. However, we should see this mid tower going down here soon. BC can just force it when it gets a bit lower. Only 1900 HP left on it. If they choose to move everybody, they'll absolutely be able to make the play, but they're just looking to scale up and play for this Ocean Soul, it looks like, based on the pings. Yeah, Wukong gonna shove this in. See if he can force a TP out here. Probably won't happen because Xayah is already moving to it. But he might be able to get this tower. He's at least going to get some damage onto it. And yeah, one more wave and a Q thrown in there, and it is that much closer to dying. Only 1,000 gold left. Meanwhile, Fisty doing his best to get some gold back into this game. Does now have the Executioner's Calling that will help him in the trades against the against the Fiora. Fiora also cannibalizing his jungler's farm. But Wukong, very ahead in this matchup, is not gonna mind. BC starting to get the vision down for this objective. Okay, Fiora here is caught. Doesn't realize it yet. Oh wait, starts backing up. A bit of a mistake from Phil. Oh wait, Phil is caught and is going to go down. That's a lot used though by the side. A lot used though by the side of Pace, and they can't finish Princeton. And Brooklyn College get the Fiora, they get the Ahri, and they're gonna be able to chase down the Aatrox too. This is all happening with 1 minute left before the Baron, or before the Dragon Soul comes up. This is a huge mistake from Pace. They try to save their player and they do a good job.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But yeah, that's gonna be the mid turret going down. That's gonna be everything used from the side of Pace other than the Lee Sin ultimate, or the Lee Sin flash and the Lulu flash there. But BC get everything they want going into this play. They have almost an 8,000 gold lead, pushing to 9,000. And right now, if you're Pace, again, you're in a desperate situation. You have to make something happen. You have to get some kind of imbalanced team fight, because Brooklyn College are about to seal the deal here with a Dragon Soul, an easy Baron rotation, and they can force any fight they want. They've got Fiora, who has the TP advantage. She is going to get time alone with this tower. And even though Jarvan pops the ult, it doesn't find anything. Ming getting slowed by the dragon though. This is a misplay on his behalf. Doesn't realize that he can't play that way. And Wukong comes in to steal the dragon. Fiora's also here on this fight. This is gonna be big. Phil getting the damage off, gets the stun, gets the kill. Double kill for the Wukong. Brooklyn College get everything out of this play. They're chasing down the Ahri. They're fighting the Xayah here. Xayah, actually gets a ton of damage off. She's got the lethal tempo. She looks really strong. Wukong still fighting the Ahri. It's getting dangerous for him, but he's got his team to help him out. And that's going to be Ahri going down. Sam is on a rampage. Brooklyn College take a fight that looks lost when Ming, sorry, words are hard. When Ming makes a position.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Wei Ming, sorry guys, I am sorry. I'm griefing now, I'm tired. When Ming makes a misplay with his positioning, it looks like Pace are going to get a free extension on the game, but Fiora saying, I am extremely strong despite the 1-3 scoreline, TP's in. Wukong, meanwhile, getting onto the backline with nothing left for Pace to contest. And it results in Brooklyn College getting everything, and we are still in this, though. Oh, Syndra gets a kill onto Xayah. Max range with the E, I assume, because we missed it. But the scatter the weak and the ult coming through. Fiora getting alone time with a tower. This looks like Brooklyn College will be able to just close this game out. It might not even come to Elder. They've got a 10,000 gold lead. They're about to pick up the Baron, and they've got the timers to make sure they can collect these waves and run it down as one. Sam, TP available. Brooklyn College look massive here. Pace, the only thing they can get is this side lane tower finally going down in the bot lane. Ari trying to get some bounty gold over to their team, but Brooklyn College looking like their versatility is paying off. And despite a couple of missteps from a few players, they have been playing one hell of a game here cohesively to build up a 10,000 gold lead. Pace, desperate now, have to make something happen. Whatever happens next will likely be the last team fight of their season if they misplay it. Brooklyn College looking to bring that trophy home. Okay, Ari, Ika here trying to find something in the side lane. And actually, I think Ika's just caught. Okay, nope. Brooklyn College, oh no! Ika is caught. Has to flash away, or I'm sorry, has to ult away. Doesn't have flash available. Syndra in the side lane here is huge for Sam. 5-0-9, and just one-shots Fisty! Wukong coming in to help, but all of the damage that comes through from the Syndra is just diabolical there. So much damage. Ming backing up this time. Does remind his team he will not die for a tower, but his team is looking to end the game. They've got the pressure top. They've got the pressure bot. They're gonna get this mid tower. Wukong coming in onto 3 people. Rudy has to pop the ult to survive. Fiora in the thick of it, fighting the Xayah. Is going to walk away ignited, but Brooklyn College get all 3 inhibitors. They've got Ming with full HP, everything up. They should be able to just dive them and close this out. And a huge scatter of the week, followed up by the grand entrance from Rakan. Brooklyn College are going to end this game, and after 2 back-to-back undefeated regular seasons, this time they are bringing home a trophy to show for it. Oh my gosh, okay, Brooklyn College win it. As the coach of this team, I gotta say, I am so proud of these guys. I'm gonna get them in here to interview them, but I am so proud of the work they put in this semester. Well played to Pace, but BC on top, coming out with the win. 3 decisive games, not one game where Brooklyn College really struggled, okay? Pace coming out with some solid identity, some solid ideas, but BC making better adaptations, team fighting perfectly in game 2, and running away with it from the beginning in game 3. They ramped up here, and as we say, we always end on a high note, and this is the highest possible note to end the semester on, because the Brooklyn College League team brought a trophy home. After 2 semesters of undefeated regular seasons, last season not being able to close it out, and not being able to win nationals either, taking a semifinals finish, it feels so good for these guys to finally bring the trophy here, win the NECC Challengers Northeast Division, and cement themselves as one of the strongest teams in the Northeast, respective to all of Collegiate League of Legends. All right, let me get some players in here. Let's hear how they feel. Give me just one moment, folks. All right, and we're back with the Brooklyn College League of Legends team, the NECC Challengers Division Northeast Champions. How does it feel, lads?
Amazing.
Really good.
Relieving.
Oh, it feels good, man. I've lost 2 finals back to back. The third one ain't happening. Feels amazing. 3-0-2 clean. No stress, no anything. Feels wonderful.
Yeah, so regular season, undefeated, 2 semesters in a row. You guys do come away with the championship this time. Do you feel like, a couple of you said relieved there. Sam, I know you especially feeling relieved after last year's finals. But tell me, what is it like knowing that you're good enough to go undefeated and this time close it out, and not just close it out with a win, but with a decisive and clean 3-0?
Somebody else want to take
No,
it?
this is directed at you, Sam. You go ahead.
Oh, this
You
is
go ahead.
directed at me?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I think what this shows is that hard work pays off. You know, we came off a disappointing loss last year, and then to run it back again, you know, once you make it undefeated regular season, and then you run it and you lose in the final, it feels really, really awful. You know, you felt like you were at a high and you end up at such a low. You know, the disappointment is crazy, and so it just made me a little bit hungrier for this year. And then once again, we run it back. We go regular season undefeated. We make playoffs again. Allowing a result such as last year, knowing the disappointment we faced. I mean, I personally felt like that couldn't happen again. So it feels amazing. It feels like all the hard work paid off. I personally made some sacrifices. I actually started playing the game compared to last year. It was mostly because of the motivation from the loss, and then the tournament over the weekend as well. Another loss. It's just it really opens your eyes up, but if it's worth it, it's couldn't be any better. Couldn't be written any better, actually.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you said it, I think very succinctly. Obviously coming off those losses, learning stuff from them, especially the one this weekend against CCNY. You guys did make those adaptations that I can also say we worked on together. And I was very happy to see it. Making the rotations through to the mid lane to get those heralds, making the prio adjustment to ensure that those heralds are being the thing that you're working for. Perfect timers, really in sync teleports, and just the whole macro end of the gameplay coming through after that very close loss this weekend at the BC Winter Invitational against CCNY. All right, that being said, Phil, tell me a little bit about how you felt about your matchup today, getting Fiora twice and having a pretty strong performance both games.
I mean, honestly, in terms of the actual matchup, I know what my goal is in the mid to early. I know my problems have been in the early game for the most part. So I kind of just I know a lot of us did reflecting and we improved on our weaknesses in the last games, in the last couple of weeks especially. But today, like, I just made sure to, really pick it up on those problems I had before and make sure I can pull it through. And then realistically, the game just felt super easy. Like, it felt super easy when I was able to, like, get to the point where I know what I need to do to close out the game. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you had to fill in for support last semester during the Nationals run.
Yeah.
So are you happy to be back in top lane now that tentacle coach guy actually gave his spot up?
I mean, yeah, especially that I am actually like improving a lot because I remember last time I played, I did a lot of funny stuff. I was obviously lower rank, but I was also, I did a lot of very common mistakes like that you would always see in solo queue, and I would just spam it every competitive game, and it did not look good. So compared to last time I actually played top lane in collegiate, now it's like I'd say like 100x difference.
Yeah, and you definitely look a lot stronger. You've come a long way. I can say as your coach and as a top laner myself, I'm very pleased with the progress you've made. You put in a lot of hard work yourself. Sam as well, going from not playing the game to get past Emerald or to get past Plat because he didn't want to play, to now he's got hundreds of games played in Master. Also, gotta shout out your guys' jungler, Hwalp, with the Graves games, playing the Wukong almost flawlessly in Game 3. Hwalp, do you have anything at all you would like to say? In perfect John fashion, he says nothing. Thank you so much for that great, valuable input. The captain of the team is a relatively quiet guy, but a quiet leader. Someone who has been a big force on this team. So I'm shouting Hwalp out for him. Great job. And then, of course, our bot lane. The Neela and the Rakan, Ming and Princeton. Let me talk to you first, Princeton. How do you feel playing Rakan Perma? No one takes it away from you today.
Dude, they just disrespect me because they see me, they're like, haha, he's low elo, dude. They don't know. Okay, they don't know. We're disrespected.
19 KDA in the last game. Some beautiful engages, including picking up that double kill on what looked like a dive that was gonna go south. You end up taking it and ensuring that you and Hwalp, together with the Wukong ultimate, make it happen. And that was a huge play that swung some momentum into the game. You guys were already building up a lead, but that one right there gave you all the tempo in the world. So tell me a little bit about what it was like this year, making the transition from a mid laner who was sitting on the sidelines last semester to starting in the support position and taking on something new, especially too with the shot calling that you've been doing.
Well, honestly, I was really reluctant to try my hand at support at first because I was afraid about like my actual how my performance was going to be against teams of this caliber. You know, we're playing like low to mid masters average teams most of the time, but I think I've had, especially because I've stick to a small champion pool and refined like 2 or 3 champions. You know, mostly Rakan XD. Um, I think that like at the end of the day that didn't end up mattering. So I kind of have taken a liking to support, honestly. So
Well, great. I do think that your macro callouts have been phenomenal. You also have had huge improvements this semester. But of course, you're not alone. Ming here. Your Nyla performances today, the pentakill. Ming, how did it feel getting a pentakill today?
I mean, I was just only 40 HP. I was lucky to get the pentakill though, but yeah, I was happy to not playing Zaya 3 games along. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you got Nyla twice. You got Sivir. Okay. I can't remember another series where you didn't play Zaya or Kaisa at least once. Maybe your coach liked you a little more today. Who knows? But nonetheless, very, very good job on your performance today. All of you have done a fantastic job. I will leave the floor open to anyone. Do you guys want to shout out anyone at the program, your teammates, your family, anybody? This is your opportunity.
I actually want to shout everybody out, especially to John. You know, John, me and John have been running it back 2 seasons now. When I first got into the fucking team, I was awful. You know, I wasn't playing the game. I would show up to scrims, run it down. I would show up to a official match, play okay, not to my caliber. And you know, mid and jungle is kind of like one role. You know, it's not really too different. The whole game revolves around each other, and so it took me a little bit of time to get to a level where John maybe felt freedom, and I have to shout it out because he put up through a lot. You know, I was griefing a lot of games, and I also want to shout out Marcus because Marcus didn't take my role away. We spoke about it. We spoke about it at the start of the semester. You know, I was willing to swap roles, but I was kind of hesitant because I already disliked playing the game, and then I felt like a role swap would kind of just make me not show up. You know, I had to maybe learn to put my ego aside. You know, maybe we could have ran it back and it would have gone just as well if I would have swapped. But I was to shout him out massively. I also have to shout out Xander. He also put it through a lot. You know, put it through a loss last semester. He had to yell at me, double text me, call my phone. Yo, you need to play the game. I would tell him I would play. I wouldn't play. I'd be on Valorant all day. But I think the team put up through a lot for me, so there's nothing I can say than just be grateful. At the end, it was all worth it. Sorry for trolling a couple of times and not playing the game, but it was all worth it in the end. You know,
Listen,
we're champions
as
now.
one of those people you just mentioned, it's all good. You came away with the championship today. You made it all worth it. Any headache you've ever put me through is now forgiven. And I am hoping that you guys also take this and swing the momentum into the spring. So I guess this is the last question I'll leave you. If anyone else wants to say anything else, one more time, but I did think of one more question I want to ask you guys real quick. And I will direct this one at Phil. So Phil, you guys have the spring coming up. You're going to have another opportunity at ECAC. You guys are playing in the ECAC Division 4C LOL instead of East. And of course, you guys are going to be doing the run back with NECC. Do you guys think you've built a solid foundation going forward so that you can end even higher and hit a higher ceiling in spring where you might be able to secure a spot in the overall top 32 in Collegiate League of Legends?
I'm not gonna lie, like I think that's a big yes. We have established a lot of foundations, especially with our drafts. I would say 90% of the times our like in official games, our drafts are like amazing. Like we really never miss with the drafts, especially. I mean, you are also great at drafting for us, so that helps a lot.
Thank
Shout out Malphite and Rakan. But at the same time, we have a lot of like in terms of the actual like game and picking what we need to play. Like we're pretty set on that. It's more that we have these little mistakes. I know you gave us like that essay the other day of like what we need to go over, what we need to improve on, and these 3 games we really showed like it's a crazy burst of improvement. And I think as long as we can take this into account, not just because we're in finals, we're under pressure, this and that, but if this is like maybe our new foundation as well, then yeah, I think we can just only go further.
Absolutely. I firmly agree. I think you guys haven't hit your ceiling yet. I think you guys are still growing as players, and I think you all looked fantastic today. I'm proud of all of you. All of Brooklyn College is proud of you guys for bringing home the 2nd trophy of the semester after the Val White team did on Monday. That's not one, but 2 trophies coming home in a semester, and a big one for you guys, of course, arguably being the highest ranked team that we have in the program right now. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys the chance to go celebrate. By all means, well done. BC on top. Okay, folks, that is going to be us wrapping it up here. You heard it there. BC on top. Brooklyn College feeling good about their win tonight. Hearing a lot of very humbling commentary from them. As the coach of this program, as someone that's worked very closely with these players in particular, I want to say I'm so damn proud of their growth. They have been a force to be reckoned with in Collegiate League of Legends this semester, doing really well in ECAC, falling in quarters in a close series with Weber, but turning it around, finding their footing here, learning a lot from CCNY in this last weekend, and then using all of that energy, all of the learning, all of the self-reflection to come away with a trophy, something that this team didn't have yet, despite being the winningest team at Brooklyn College. So that being said, we're not done for the semester. We still have a couple more teams left to play. The League of Legends Gold team, our development team for League of Legends, is playing their semifinals on Monday and hopefully winning so they can take it to the finals in ECAC the following Friday. We also have our Counter-Strike team who made it to the 3rd, 4th place match in ECAC, looking to win against NEU. The other team that they hadn't played, and hopefully they'll be able to pull out that win as well. But that's going to wrap it up here for us at Brooklyn College. Thank you to Pace for putting on a great show. They're always a good team for us to play. We learn a lot from them, and we wish them luck with the rest of their collegiate season. And thank you here to all of our Brooklyn College gamers in the Brooklyn College Esports and Gaming Club, all of the Brooklyn College students that follow us, all of the alumni, all of the leaders, and everybody. We appreciate all of you. We hope you have a fantastic evening. GG's, BC on top.